Salem wasn't the only place where witches were hunted. From Europe's burning stakes to Africa's secret tribunals, the truth about witch trials is far darker and far-reaching. Long before Salem, Europe endured a witch-hunting frenzy. Between the 15th and 18th centuries, an estimated 50,000 people, mostly women, were executed. Suspicion spread like wildfire, and fear consumed entire communities. Religion played a central role. The church saw witchcraft as heresy, a pact with the devil. The Malleus Maleficarum, a 1487 manual, labeled witches as agents of Satan and fueled mass panic. Accused witches faced horrifying trials, drowning tests, thumbscrews, and iron chairs. Confessions were often forced. Once accused, survival was nearly impossible. Witch trials were less about justice and more about fear and control. Most accused witches were women. They were seen as vulnerable to the devil's temptations. Independent women, healers or widows, often became scapegoats in societies that feared their autonomy. Many believed witches worked in secret covens to overthrow Christian society. This conspiracy theory spread panic across Europe, fueling a cycle of fear and violence. In Africa, witch hunts were tied to cultural beliefs. Suspected witches were subjected to poison ordeals or exiled. These trials weren't just superstition, but often a way to settle disputes or target rivals. Asia had its own witch trials. In Japan, accusations led to dishonor and exile rather than death. In India, women accused of witchcraft faced brutal punishments, often tied to land disputes or family rivalries. Before Salem, indigenous tribes in the Americas had their own beliefs about witches. Some tribes used spiritual cleansing rituals, while others banished the accused. Fear of curses was universal across cultures. Salem in 1692 became infamous. Over 200 were accused, and 20 executed. Mass hysteria and false accusations turned a small town into a nightmare, exposing the dangers of unchecked fear. Salem's trials ended when people doubted the accusers, but by then, the damage was done. Salem became a cautionary tale of hysteria, injustice, and the cost of fear-driven decisions. Even today, witchcraft accusations persist in parts of the world. Fear of the unknown, cultural beliefs, and power struggles keep the specter of witch trials alive, albeit in different forms. Psychologists say the fear of witches was rooted in the human psyche's need to explain the unexplainable. Witch hunts were fueled by mass hysteria, where fear spread faster than reason. Witch hunts weren't just about fear, they were often about greed. Accusing someone of witchcraft could lead to confiscation of their land, wealth, or property, a grim motivation for false accusations. Not all accused witches were victims. Some used witchcraft as a form of resistance, embracing it to defy societal norms or oppressive regimes. These stories highlight the complexity of witchcraft in history. The witch hunts remind us of the dangers of fear and ignorance. They teach us to question mass hysteria and stand against injustice, ensuring history doesn't repeat itself. The Salem Witch Trials were just one chapter in a global story of fear, power, and survival. Subscribe for more untold stories of the past and the lessons they hold for the future.